Did you know that there were benefits to being an indie? What's an indie? Tune in and I'll let you know. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be when you find yourself watching this video. I am your international award-winning author, literary extraordinaire, and awe-inspiring coach, Tennille M. Jackson, using the power of words to inspire authors, women, and entrepreneurs to realize their dreams and walk in their purpose. On this Did You Know segment, I explain to you what it means when you hear the term indie. So regardless of if you hear someone mention an indie author, an indie singer, or an indie filmmaker, what that is short for is the word independent, as in these individuals have pursued their dreams independent of a major house or a major label signing them. So as an example, if I was an independent author, then that means that I either pursued the self-publishing route or I went with a smaller, lesser known publishing company, someone that I had to use my own influence to really get my message out. So I was not signed through a major publishing house such as Penguin Random House or Simon & Schuster. If I was an independent singer, then that means that I use my own funds in order to go to produce my own single, whether it's on a CD or through iTunes. And if I'm an independent filmmaker, then again, I've used my own funds, or maybe I had a GoFundMe campaign to raise the monies necessary to produce my work. And there's a great chance that many of those that would be featured in the film would be lesser known actors or not Hollywood actors that would be credited to that film. So when you hear someone use the term indie, now you understand that what they are referring to is someone who has independently pursued their goal. So, what is a benefit to being an indie? Well, again, regardless of what industry, one of the main benefits to being an indie is the fact that you get to maintain creative control. That's right. Unlike signing with a major label in which they get to dictate how your vision is executed, when you pursue your dream yourself, then you get to retain those creative rights, or even the voice that goes with it. As an example, I have many friends who are traditionally published, and they have book covers that it was not their vision or their concept. However, they didn't get a say so simply because they were signed through a major publishing house, and that publishing house got to retain the rights because they paid them. And so even if it was not their vision, they still have to go along with the book. Whereas if they maintained creative control and they produced the project independently, then they would have been able to produce something that they like, that maintained their voice and their vision. Another benefit of being an indie is the fact that you get to work on your terms. So much like maintaining creative control, what happens is you contain, or you get to put out what schedule you want to work on. So say as an example, if I was a singer signed to a major label, then if they put me on tour, I have to go whenever they tell me. However, as an independent or an indie singer, I get to set my own schedule. I get to say when I'm going to be on tour, where I get to tour, so on and so forth. So it is very necessary if you are the type of person who likes to have control over your own destiny. If you don't want for people telling you where to go or when to go or how to go or how your project should look, then you may want to pursue being an indie. Now, I have to be fair and also render to you a couple drawbacks of being an indie. So if you are independent, then you truly have to cover everything yourself. yourself. And typically when we say that, this is as it pertains to costs and resources. And so yes, whereas you get to create to maintain creative control, you also have to pay for everything that is associated. So in the case with an author, you'd have to pay editors out of your pocket, graphic designers or publicists, the many different people that it takes to bring your product or your idea to fruition. The same thing with singers and filmmakers. If someone else is footing the bill, then that is not a responsibility that you have to take on. So for that reason, many people will kind of let go of the fact that they can't have that creative control if in turn they don't have to come out of their own pockets to pay for it. And so another drawback to being indie is the fact that you have to not only come out of the money yourself, but again, your time. You're literally putting forth all of the effort to make this thing happen. So most people, if they have a very restricted budget, that means that they are their own PR team, their own marketing team. They have to do it all themselves. And many find this to be very overwhelming. And so although, yes, you may lose creative control, yes, you may lose the ability to not say when you're going to do what you want to do and when, the offside or the flip side to that is the fact that you don't have to use your own time, money, energy, and other resources. And so it's really up to you. Who are you? What type of person are you? Do you like having somebody to govern you, or do you like to govern yourself? Do you want to be able to have the final voice, or would you mind compromising and letting someone else's vision reign supreme? That is something that only you should know. But at least by the end of this video, you now know that when you hear someone referenced as an indie, that means that they are an independent individual. Again, whether author, singer, or filmmaker, they chose to pursue their dream on their own terms. And so I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's Did You Know segment. And feel free to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. This Artist Promoting Success channel is dedicated to giving you information and inspiration to help you accomplish your artistic goals. So we want to thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, you guys stay encouraged.